WNST's 2008 Indianapolis Combine coverage is brought to you by Coors Light, a frost-brewed taste that's as cold as the Rockies. Taste the cold of Coors Light anytime with WNSTV.
I know this isn't, I guess, your area to discuss as far as the legal ramifications, I guess, but we have grievances this, front page stories that. You sit back and go, yeah, it's good to be king.
I'm glad he's going to be back on the Raven. That's the main thing for us.
But does his role, I mean, with Rex Ryan still here, I wouldn't imagine that T-Sizzles, his role will change, but could his productivity change with a healthy Trevor Price hopefully back for you guys in 2008?
That's right. I mean, you look at the whole thing, it's not just defensively, it's special teams and it's offense. Guys play better when they're better players around them. And the guys that came in last year, I thought on defense did a nice job. You got to credit the coaches too. They really did a good job of holding that thing together, and they played hard the whole year. So, but Trevor Price, I mean, how do you put a value on what a guy like him does and how it affects the other 10 guys out there? It's going to be, I mean, he's got to work hard in the offseason so he can stay healthy all year too.
You know, you bring up pass rush, and I've felt this way for years. A good pass rush, a solid pass rush, and I'm not talking about one where you're sending 8 or 9 people at one time, but when you can send 5 people and get a rush on a quarterback, it makes your secondary better. You saw that with the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great secondary by the Giants,
right,
but a tremendous pass rush.
Right.
How much of that pass rush makes Chris McAllister an all-pro again, and how much of that pass rush can help Samari Rowe, who's dealing with his own health problems? How much emphasis do you put on that in the offseason?
Well, you're right. I mean, that goes hand in hand, Rob, as you know. As a secondary coach, you like to see pass rush.
Yeah.
I mean, bring that heat, guys, because you got to cover them that much less long. At the same time, the coverage in the back end, that helps generate pass rush, because if we can cover them, 1 split second longer maybe than someone else is covering them, that gives that defensive end a chance to get around that tackle, work hard, and get to the quarterback. So it all goes together. It is a team game. We one hand, what is it? We scratch each other's back. I'm looking for a good cliche here. You got one for me?
Where's Hennessy? Yeah, we got to find Hennessy.
Scratch my back,
There we go.
There you go.
There it is.
Hennessy's book of cliches down in the lobby. We'll get that for you soon. John Harbaugh, head coach, Baltimore Ravens. Bob Haynie, Rob Long. I know you only have a couple more minutes with us here, Coach. But Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati Bengals, obviously your competition in the AFC North.
You don't like any of them.
Your thoughts on the moves they have made? Cleveland, very active, obviously, minus first 3-round draft picks here.
Right.
Your thoughts on what the teams have done and how that may make your job or the job of the Ravens tougher here in 2008.
To me, it's just the way the NFL works. I mean, everybody's doing everything they can to make themselves as strong as they can. Everybody knows who the players are. How do they fit into their system? Phil Savage, he was here. He trained under Ozzie, so I think he knows what he's doing. And they've done a nice job there. But, we'll show up. I think we play them twice this year, right?
I think so.
Yeah, we'll be there on time.
Be there on time.
Yeah.
You can never as a coach, you can never want to lose 3 draft picks, your first 3 draft picks, regardless of what you get on the other end. Am I right about that?
Well, no, not now especially. I'm sure he wants those draft picks, but he got some pretty good play. He got some value for those draft picks, so you make those choices, and I'm sure that's why one of the reasons they're so active in free agency. They don't have the draft picks. They've got to go out and get some guys. Now, you love to get those guys through the draft. I mean, that's the best way to acquire talent, and we have a chance to do that.
I don't know if you guys talked about it when I was out taking my hiatus last hour, but moving the lockers around, what was the motivation behind that?
Well, and we did talk about it. It's just the idea is to, I don't know if it's just to get guys spending time with people they don't normally spend. We're cliquey, aren't we? As human beings,
Yeah,
we
so.
lunch with the same people every day. We go out with the same people. Let's get those old linemen with those DBs and spend a little time with those guys, and get to know one another. We're all brothers. We need to spend some time with one another. Get a new neighbor,
Yeah.
Live in a new neighborhood.
But some of us don't like people, so.